Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Third Man Cricket Show, where we have just finished with the third ODI between Sri Lanka and India, and finally, Sri Lanka has managed to reign victorious over an opponent. I mean, this is just their second ODI victory in this year, and I mean, credits to them. They have played exceptionally well to beat an Indian side, irrespective of the kind of players that are there in an Indian side. But it is always a big thing when any team beats India in the ODI format. So credit goes Sri Lanka. So we'll be discussing the post-match show here with Ankur and Vansh. Uh, Firstly, Vansh, what a game we have had. Disappointed from an Indian perspective, but you have to give credit to Sri Lanka. I mean, they bowled really well after the rain break. They actually came back into the game. At one point, we actually thought that the score might go to 300, 350 at one instance, but they really bowled well. So your thoughts on Sri Lanka's performance with the ball? Then after that, talk us through about that innings played by Avishka Fernando and also Avishka Fernando and that partnership with Bhanuka. I think that was the match-winning one. So
Yeah.
your quick thoughts on that?
Well, you have to give credit to Sri Lanka the way they bowled. I mean, even in the second ODI, you can't say that they deserved to lose that game, but still, you have to give them credit. Obviously, it's not easy to win for them as a group because they are not used to winning this year. As you mentioned, they've only won two matches, so it's kind of difficult to get to winning ways. But better late than never, and Sri Lanka have won their second game of the year, and it's only positives can be picked up from this series, irrespective of who won the series. Obviously, Sri Lanka did lose the series, but then as a group they'll be looking at the positives because there are some faces in that Sri Lankan batting lineup who are the face of their future, so positive signs for them.
Definitely positive signs for them with the victory in this series, but also when we talk about the ODI Super League that is currently happening for the direct qualification for the
Yeah.
2023 World Cup. India has already qualified, being the host of the tournament, so they are not too much bothered about that tournament. But this victory actually puts Sri Lanka into contention for that top eight spot. So, Ankur, your thoughts on how much did Sri Lanka need this victory? I mean, yes, they lost the series, but when a team is on the losing streak, they always find it difficult to win, even from a winnable position. But credit goes to Sri Lanka. I mean, in the end, it looked like they might mess up again, but they did really well to win it by 3 wickets. So, how crucial will this victory be for Sri Lanka? Because in the next series, South Africa are going to come to Sri Lanka for 3 ODI. So this could prove out to be a big boost for them, don't you think?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, they played very well today. As you see, like they bowled by a very like good. Sorry. I like they played like very well today. So it was like a good win for them. Like actually, what happened today is like this will give a like great boost to everyone for the Sri Lankan team, like the coach, the management, and even to the players.
Definitely, and no worries, Ankur. We can see your emotions. I mean, of course, we are all are distraught as Indian cricket fans, but it's okay. I mean, you win some, you lose some in this game of cricket, and I think there were quite a lot of positives from this game for from an Indian perspective as well. So let's talk about that with ones first. So second innings, I think the two debutant, the one debutant, no, not Rahul Char. I think Rahul Char he has played one or two ODIs. I'm not sure, but those two played really
No,
well.
no, no.
Rahul Char,
No,
he
no,
didn't play.
Even
He's
Chair is a
yeah.
debutant.
Okay,
He
sorry. I
was the
mean,
debut. Yeah.
it's so difficult to keep a track on who's making their
Exactly.
debut and who's not because the quality of cricket that is played around the world. I mean, it's so difficult to keep a track. But let us talk about the two performances, two performance for India, Rahul Char and Chetan Sakaria. I mean, they were exceptionally well with the ball and talk us through the Indian bowling performances, highlighting the success of the two bowlers. Vansh.
Yeah, so Sakaria and Chahar both shared 5 wickets between them. I think Chahar was exceptional with the ball, although he was a bit expensive, I feel. But then that's what leg spinners always go for. They always go for runs. They always have that risk of going for runs. But what matters is that he picked up 3 wickets, three very beautiful deliveries. He tried to deceive the batsman with the googlies first, and then bowled the leg spinner in turn, which created doubts in the mind of the batters, which was, I feel, a very crucial, mind battle played by him. Then Sakaria, I thought he deserved a place in the Indian team after his performance and what he has been through, obviously. So I think Sakaria, it's a very good confidence booster for Sakaria himself, and it'll obviously do his family proud as well. So I'm really happy for both these young guys.
Definitely, and Sakaria's story. I mean, it is certainly an inspirational one. I mean, how he started off the year and to what it is currently going for him. I mean, it is just an appreciation words are not enough for that young man, and hopefully it keeps on continuing for him and he keeps on growing, and that is simply amazing. So, before I ask Anku the next question, I would just like to ask the viewers to keep on posting their comments. We'll be taking your questions one by one to ask our experts here. So let us start off by taking one question by Vignesh here, who's saying that Sri Lanka's best bowling performance of this series came today because they just bowled 10 extras, whereas India had 30 extras. I mean, that was a defining moment. So, Ankur, your thoughts on India bowling too many extras? I mean, you saw a couple of no balls by spinners, and also just at the very end of the game, you saw India bowling a no ball just because of the some kind of an issue
Yeah,
in the
field
field.
field
So
restriction.
it
Yeah.
was really unusual. So, I mean, yes, they won the series, but do you think India took it lightly on the field?
Yeah, I think that they took this match lightly, like that bowling performance very lightly, as like there was not that score on the board. So like they should be serious on the field, I guess. Like they gave a lot of extras in the field, like which was not like which is not expected by a team like India. So like it is something to like they should be serious of.
Definitely. And speaking about not being serious, I mean, there was one particular guy who was known for his angry antics at the end of the second game, but I'm sure he must be all in smiles. Mickey Arthur, I think he must be a relieved man after the victory in this match. So credit goes to Sri Lanka and also Mickey Arthur for winning this match. So next question here is a very interesting one from uh, Omkar here. He's pointing out that after a long time, we saw an Indian left arm pacer performing for India. So once we have seen quite a lot of left arm pacers emerging for India in the last few years, thanks to the domestic circuit and also the
Yeah.
IPL for contributing to that. But in their debut matches, we saw Natarajan being that heroic, giving that heroic performance in Australia just few months ago, and to back that, Chetan Sakaria was amazing in this as well. So, do you think that the left arm bowler revolution is here to stay in India?
I certainly hope so, Sanchit, because after Zahir Khan, we haven't had a complete left arm pacer as of now. As of now, obviously we did try out with Khalil Ahmed, we did try out with Natarajan, as you mentioned, but India are desperately looking for a left arm bowler, and it's evident because even in England we have sent a domestic bowler from Gujarat. I think. Arzan Nagraswala, if I'm not mistaken. So that's India desperately looking for a left arm seamer, and Chetan Sakaria should realize this opportunity because if he shines, if he performs well in the T20 series against Sri Lanka, who knows what may pop up? Who knows? An injury here or there, and he might get selected for the T20 World Cup as well. So you never know how your fortune can change in this time because even one squad is not enough, as we've seen right now. So I think India are desperately looking, and they have got a good bunch of left arm pacers currently, and I do hope that this trend really continues for so many years, because I personally love watching the ball come into the right handers.
Certainly, and it was good that you mentioned about fortune favoring the brave, and fortune did favor the brave, a brave player from Sri Lanka. And Ronak is asking about our thoughts on Avishka Fernando, the next big thing in Sri Lankan cricket. I mean, he played a exceptional knock at the top of the order, and I did mention in our group chat about the some kind of strokes that he played. I think it was elegant to watch, and he's certainly
Yeah.
the next big thing for Sri Lanka, who is in their transition phase since the last 2 or 3 years. So, Ankur, your quick thoughts on these new performers for Sri Lankan cricket, and how big will it be for them in order to build a squad for the 2023 World Cup and so on?
Yeah, as you seen like Avishka Fernando and the like his partner like giving great start to Sri Lanka in all the three matches again in India. Like they were scoring almost like 60 to 70 runs per match on an average as we see. So I think like these like this may give a great boost to the batsmen who are coming to the lower order. So like it is great, and like we have seen some new bowler today. I am like not getting his name. Like he took 3 wickets. What was his name?
I
Yeah,
think it was Jaya Vikrama. and Dhananjay.
Jaya
They both
Vikrama,
took
yeah,
three
yeah.
wickets. Yeah,
Yeah, that newcomer, that Jaya Vikrama, he bowled like very well. We see him like taking three crucial wickets. So I think like these youngsters and like new like these who all are performing for Sri Lanka may give a great boost to the team as well as the management, and like they might be looking forward for the T20 World Cup as well.
Hmm.
definitely. And speaking about T20 World Cup, we already got one question right up in our big screen posted by Abhinav. He's saying that how many of tonight's bowling attack are in contention for the T20 World Cup? He can't think of anyone apart from Rahul Chahar, and he's saying that why not play Kuldeep or Krunal, who have a chance for T20 World Cup. So, Vansh, do you agree about with Abhinav about potentially Kuldeep Yadav making his cut ahead of someone like Rahul Chahar, or not Rahul Chahar, someone like Varun Chakravarti, and
Hmm.
even Yuzvendra Chahal? I think he's not a sure shot starter in the starting 11 for the T20 World Cup as well. So I think the next three T20s that we are going to play are the last T20s before the big tournament. So
Yeah.
your thoughts overall on the build up to the T20 World Cup and how we could approach this next three T20s?
Well, I personally think that India going with a particular format approach, because in this ODI we already had won the series, so there was no hesitation by the team management to try out new bowlers. Especially, we didn't switch much with the batsmen, but we switched with the bowlers today. So I think in the T20 series we surely will see Kuldeep and Yuzi bowl, because they do need that match experience right before the World Cup. India does have to test them once again, because in the IPL, I guess both of these spinners weren't tested as much, and they do need some quality bowling time with against international sides as well. But what I personally feel is that this match, we shouldn't consider anything out of this match. Rahul Chahar obviously will be the third option after, of course, as you mentioned, Varun Chakravarti he's on the second line, as you mentioned. So I personally don't think that it was a bad thing that India did today. Obviously, if you're taking a lot of youngsters to Sri Lanka, you obviously need to give them some match days, and I think we obviously will see Kuldeep and Yuzi, and if needed, I think we'll also see Varun Chakravarti, who's as the backup option if any of these bowlers don't perform well. So I think the spinners, if we want to try out, these three are the spinners to watch out for in the T20 series.
Definitely, some great points made there, and I could already see lots of comments in the comment section, mostly about Nitish Rana and his bowling. So, Ankur, my next question straight up to you, because you were there in the pre-match show, and we talked when the team news
Yeah,
came. We saw that both Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Deepak Chahar were not playing, so it would directly imply that Hardik Pandya was going to be the sole responsible bowler to be completing his 10 overs. We didn't consider Nitish Rana to be bowling 1 or 2 overs. I mean, yes, we did mention that he will be bowling 1 or 2 overs, but Hardik Pandya's bowling, man, is it? We talked about it being a cause for concern before the game, but he didn't fare well in this game as well. Especially knowing that he was going to be the bowler for us, who is going to bowl 7 to 8 over at max in this match.
Hmm.
So Hardik Pandya's performance wasn't that great in this match, and that actually made us to look out to someone like Nitish Rana to bowl 2 or 3 overs. So, Ankur, your thoughts on Hardik Pandya, the bowler, and how could Nitish Rana develop himself as a potential all-rounder going forward? I mean, you can't see him in the T20 World Cup, of course, because of the competition there, but who knows, in the 2022 World Cup or even 2023 ODI World Cup, we might see Nitish Rana in the mix. So, your thoughts on Pandya, the bowler, and also Nitish Rana, the all-rounder?
yeah. So like as you seen, like Pandit will also give like somewhat around 50 runs in 5 overs. So like giving runs at an average of 10 is like a big cause in ODI especially. Yeah, he took one wicket, but like if you're giving too much run and taking like taking one wicket, like it's a huge like it's of no cost actually. So I think like even like I think that he should focus more on his bowling. Like as we have seen, like we are not getting any like batting performances from him too. Like he's not doing that well in batting. What we know him, what he can do actually. So like since the time he came from his injury, like he's lacking a lot. Like he has to focus a lot on his fitness, his bowling, his batting. Like we are not seeing the original Hardik Pandya actually what he is like Kung Fu Pandya. Everyone knows him like. Yeah. So it's a big concern. And like talking about Nitish Rana, like he should like focus more on his bowling. Like he's a great batsman, we know actually. But today, like he got chance very late. Like he's not that, like he's not lower order batsman. He's a like top order batsman. Seeing him like playing open for KKR or one down. So I think like if he would give like if the team manage would have given him a chance at top or like, so like he would like he would have scored a lot of like runs, as I know he's a very capable player. And like talking about his bowling, like he should focus more on his bowling. Like today also he might have got one wicket, but like unfortunately the one dropped that catch. So yeah, like he can look forward for like upcoming World Cups.
Definitely. And Kaustup seems to be a fan of you, Ankur. I mean, you could see the comment here made by KB sir himself. Ankur like Dua, and he seems to love the way how you use that phrase. So, all fair there. Let us talk about the batting performance by India. I mean, at one point, we were looking quite comfortable at 111 for 3 before the rain break, of course. At one, and as we rightly talked about, in the pre-match of the kind of scores we were going to expect 350. Someone even said that there would be a 500 target being posted, but that didn't come to true. So once India's batting performance, I think it was a game of two halves, before the rain and after the rain. But before the rain, there was some kind of a similar pattern. I mean, you saw players like Prithvi Shaw, Sanju Samson, Surya Kumar Yadav, they got into their 40s, but they didn't manage to convert their scores into a big score. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
it is not a cause for a huge concern, but in the ODI format, you would expect at least one of them to go on to push on for a big score, especially after winning the toss on a beautiful batting deck. So, your thoughts on India's batting performance and how we could learn from this, because most of these players are going to be groomed for the 2023 World Cup, and this could certainly be a learning curve for most of them. So, are you really worried about the kind of the starts that the players had and they could not capitalize?
I personally feel that Prithvi Shaw needs a bit of composure and he needs a bit of strength in him, in his mind, because when you come to look at his batting, he obviously has great talent, immense talent, talent which Indians have seen in the past. But then he's one of a kind. But what he needs to concentrate on is the runs, because if he gets those 30s 40s, they are of no value, especially in ODI cricket. In T20 cricket, you might argue that 30 in 10 or 15 balls is a very good score. But in ODI cricket, if as you said that 2023 World Cup is what we're looking at, then I think Prithvi Shaw and today nobody was even scoring below the strike rate of 100. I mean, that's a positive thing. But then in the long run, if you have to score those 80s and 90s and 100s, you have to take your time. You have to give some respect to the spinners who have come into bowl. You have to give some respect to the medium pacers who have come into bowl. And the shot that Prithvi Shaw played was especially out of desperation. He wanted to get that one run so badly that he came across the stumps and found himself LBW. So, but I think to look at it on the positive side, Surya Kumar Yadav obviously making his debut after so long, and even Prithvi Shaw, Shikhar Dhawan is obviously can be a big contention for 2023 as well. But I think the talent that India has is a lot. We just need to fix the last piece of the puzzle. Is and that will come with experience. So I don't think we should be too worried about the Indian batting lineup, because batting runs in our blood. So
Definitely, and we shouldn't be worried actually, because the guy that you just mentioned, Surya Kumar Yadav, he was named as the man of the series for this tournament. I mean, anyone on debut, I mean, it didn't even look like Surya Kumar Yadav was playing his debut series as in this ODI format. I mean, it looked like he was there from since the last 10 years or so. I mean, that guy played really well, and hoping that it would keep on continuing till the 2023 World Cup. And also, Avishka Fernando got the man of the match for this game, and very well deserved for that as well. So Ronak here is mentioning that India were atrocious in the fielding. So yes, I wanted to make this point here. So India were actually atrocious in the field dropping, and he has actually lost count now, many catches, and most of them which should have been taken. So Ankur, we were discussing about India's fielding before the show began, and we talked about how many catches that India dropped and how could it prove out to be costly. Not in the series context, but when we are preparing for a big tournament like the T20 World Cup or even the Cricket World Cup, you can't drop so many catches and you can't be complacent on the field. So, your thoughts on the attitude of our players in this dead rubber that we like to call it, and do you think that we should have shown a little bit more hunger in the on the field in the second innings?
Yeah, like I think that they were not that too serious on the field. Like as we seen the approach of the fielders, they were like, if it's dropped, it's like no problem because they know that they have won the series. But like they should be like more confident and like more serious on the field. Like like one catch can like change the whole match actually. There is like Frena catches win the matches. So like if you drop catches, you can't win the match actually. As you seen, like 2 3 catches were dropped. Like we like 2 3 what like many were catches were dropped, and like we have seen very loose fielding attitude. Like I saw like Sanju Samson behind the stumps also like doing very loose keeping from. So like it's a big concern. Like if you are playing a match, played seriously. It's not like you are playing a like die rubber match or something. So yeah, it's a big like you should be
Definitely, and
serious
I
on
think
the field.
yes, India were actually atrocious on the field. Let's face it. Not just one or two players. I think most of them, even that effort that Navdeep Saini made while going for the boundary, I think that was really disheartening. I'm not sure if it was an injury or if it was just him not trying hard enough. I think that was disappointing to see.
Yeah,
Um,
2 3 runouts were also like this. They were very slow in the field. That could be an easy runout.
Exactly, and Ronak had just mentioned about Shikhar Dhawan. So he was just mentioning the fact that did Dhawan miss a trick by not getting Rahul Char earlier when the ball was turning. So we saw the Sri Lankan bowlers turning the ball from miles around the pitch after the rain break. So did we miss the trick by not introducing someone like Rahul Char earlier in the innings? And after that answering, you could just answer his last question about your thoughts on Shikhar Dhawan, the captain. How did he fare according to you in the three matches?
We've seen him captain for Delhi, but that's of course on the domestic circuits. International circuit is a different thing. You need to gel up with those players well as well. Shikhar Dhawan giving the ball to Rahul Chahar was late, is what I feel as well. There were two left-handers at the crease, so I think Shikhar Dhawan was thinking at bringing in Gautam or Rana because you wanted to get their overs as well, and of course the ball turning away from them. But yes, if you want to win matches, you have to bring those leggies in because, as I already mentioned, they are the risk bearers. Even if they go for runs, they will ensure that you get at least a couple of wickets. So I think he missed a trick there, but overall, I think they shouldn't be concerned about it. We've found another limited overs captain, just like so many that we find from time to time. Shikhar Dhawan has good leadership instincts as well. We saw in the first match how he anchored the innings and took India through. So I don't think we should be worried about Dhawan's captaincy as such because he is the third option captain. But yeah, he's good to lead in a side which is full of youngsters because he like as I have seen him play, he's a fearless character and he wants his guys to play fearlessly as well. So I think it's a good character. He's a good character to have around in the side, especially when there are youngsters who you just give them the license to go and express themselves. So he's a good character.
Definitely. And speaking about good character, we saw the antic that he pulled off after winning the toss in this match. I mean, only our Gabbar can do that, and it was certainly very entertaining. So, gentlemen, we just
Punjabi
got five.
Munda.
Yes, Punjabi Munda, rightly used word used there. So we got 5 minutes late, 5 minutes left for the show. It has been a long day. I mean, it's already close to 12 o'clock, and we are just reaching the end of our show. So the last question to both of you: we finished off with the last ODI series that India will play in this year. Yes, we still
Hmm.
got almost 5 months left, but India are not scheduled to play any further ODI series at least in this year. So only we
Yeah.
are going to play Test matches and T20. So we are done with the ODIs for India. So let us now move on to the T20s. So the last question to both of you: what are your thoughts on the upcoming T20 series, and who are your players to watch out for? from both the sides. If it's from one side only, you it's okay. But firstly, Ankur, your players to watch out for in the T20 series.
Yeah, in India, I want to all like see Chetan, Samson, and Surya Kumar Yadav actually. Three players
So
from my side, and like from Sri Lanka side, again I want the injured man back today, like who gave lots of trouble to Team India, and yeah, that same bowler who took 3 wickets today. I'm like, his name is
Jai
so
Vikrama.
confusing. Jai Vikrama, yeah.
it's okay. You can just note it down for
Yeah,
the for future shows in the T20
it's
series. I
like
mean that.
Inshallah boys played well.
Nice, nice. So once same question to you. Your players to watch out for in the T20 series.
In the T20 series, I would say I would love to watch Varun Chakravarti play because we've seen how mysterious he is with the ball. And if India want to keep him as an option for the World Cup, then I think this is the best opportunity for him, and especially the IPL coming up as well. So I feel Varun Chakravarti is my top pick, but I really wanted to see Kusal Pereira actually because he's one player from Sri Lanka who has impressed me over the years. He has those glimpses of Sanat Jayasuriya, but then he just hasn't been that consistent. But he's a glorious player to watch, and left-handers are always elegant. And so yeah, these two will be my picks. Apart from that, I think Prithvi Shaw, Surya Kumar Yadav, these two are they have immense potential. But as I said, Prithvi Shaw, if he has to cement his spot in the side, he has to provide consistent and sometimes I doubt his approach as well, so, which I think is lacking today in the field. We saw at the slips he dropped a catch. He wasn't bending down on the ball, which was simple basics of slip catching. And you saw Rahul Dravid, throw his cap away out of frustration. So we all
Don't
we all
remind me. Don't remind me of that game. It takes me back to the 2014 game.
Oh, I'm sorry for bringing that memory to you, Sanchit, but but yeah, I think if our batsmen want to cement their place in the side for the T20 World Cup, especially batsmen like Surya Kumar and Sanju Samson also can be a contender, even Prithvi Shaw, then I think they have to provide consistent performances, and they have to show that they're capable of playing at the World Cup, because playing at the World Cup is no joke. You have to face difficult situations. You have to be, on the toes at all times. So I think this is what is lacking in these few batsmen, the consistency and that attitude, which will come with matches. But I think these are my players to watch out for.
Definitely, and you rightly mentioned about the kind of things that are lacking in the Indian team currently. But I'll tell you what is not lacking, and it is the consistency on the Third Man Cricket Show, because we will be back on the we'll be back covering the three T20 matches also when it resumes on Sunday onwards. So make sure to follow us on all the social media platform. We are the Third Man Cricket Show, and make sure to hit the bell icon so you don't miss out any update whenever we come live, whenever we post Experts Corner episode, just like the one we posted recently. It was one with Vishal Yadav, the founder of female cricket. I mean, it was a sensational episode. We learned a lot about women's cricket and what kind of a future it holds for the sport, and it was a really amazing experience. So I would just like to ask all the viewers to check out that on our channel. Your support really means a lot to us. So gentlemen, Ankur, Vansh, it was a pleasure hosting you. I know it is just 1 minute away from 12 o'clock, and we might just say that we were on the show for an entire day. so that is one record that we are going to break. But it was a pleasure covering this match with you. Yes, Sri Lanka won, but we all thrive for a great game of cricket, and I think that was provided to us by both the teams. So till then, thank you everyone for tuning in as viewers at this very late hour. I know it is very challenging to keep up managing that sleep cycle, especially in the times where sport is currently dominating. We are seeing Olympics being played in Tokyo, and also the 100 in England. So lots of sporting action going around. So thank you everyone for tuning in on our show, and also make sure to stay safe, follow all the safety related protocols, and ensure to get yourself vaccinated as early as possible, because we are still here in the fight for COVID, and we will be reigning superior one day. So till then, make sure to take care of yourself and your family. So till then, I'm your host Sanchit Desai, signing off. See you in the T20 series.